Hey folks, welcome back to another Battle Report. This time it's 6th edition, and we're doing a 6th edition skirmish game. This is going to be a part 1 of 3 of a group of linked scenarios taken from the General's Compendium, which I think is the called Territory Dispute. Basically, you play each of the 3 different scenarios, the winner choosing the next one, and you get so many victory points for winning each game, and at the end you decide who's the winner. We just decided to do this at the kind of last minute. I dug up the old General's Compendium, was reading through it, and I thought, this would be a bit of a laugh. So I definitely do not have the troops I require for some of these smaller games. I don't have enough painted at the moment. I'm trying to use as much as I can of just the painted stuff. I think some skink skirmishes with shields will be on my list now to give me some cheaper troops for the small games that are still quite effective. But saying that, it was fun, and we just started in and went for it. So it's quite a themey version because we got the Skaven up against me, and yeah, we'll have a look through as we go. So basically, the Skavens have sent out a skirmishing force to patrol the area, and my pickets have found them, found them in a clearing, and even though we are outnumbered, I think it's 175 to 125 points, we get to pick the scenery, the defender gets to pick up the scenery, and I'll put a lot of water down and a lot of jungle down, just to be nice and themey for my Lizardmen. And the Skaven just went with all clan rats, no heroes allowed, and the clan rat in the centre is a clan rat champion. While my forces haven't taken a photo of just them combined, but I basically have, I think, about 8 Lizardmen, Saurus warriors, and one of them is a champion, and the rest are all skinks with bows, which in this case are blowpipes, because unfortunately in 6th the bows went out of favour. So yeah, my main idea is just to do a few casualties at range, hopefully knock a few out, and just let the failed courage checks as they all run away after that. So as the Skaven are being ambushed, I get first turn, and my Lizardmen just move up to be within charge range with all my Saurus, and my skinks stay still just to fire their blowpipes. After the shooting, I was hoping to get, thanks to the poison through, I'd get a couple of through, maybe a kill, and start the scattering phase of the rats, but that was not to be, and I only managed to knock out, stun one of the rats there you can see. If you've not played Warhammer skirmish before, basically there's no units, everyone's an individual, and every time you wound an opponent you roll to see what kind of effect you have on them. So a 1 to 2 you are knocked out, which case you're lying down face back. Basically you can get up in your following turn. On a 3 to 4 it's stunned, so you're face down. You basically miss a go because on your next turn you roll over to your back and then you stand up, and then on 5 to 6 you kill. So it's quite hard to kill them. There's like 1/3 chance to actually kill them in one go, but you can then start hitting the guys that are on the ground already to take them out, and so forth. If anyone's played More Time, it's obviously the same set of rules really for More Time. Everything else is in there as well. This is straight out from the rulebook. It's under the appendix section for Warhammer Skirmish. So spears don't actually have any special rules, unlike in More Time where they get to strike first and that. In this, so we just allowed them to do as per normal rulebook, and you can fight in the second rank. So as you can see, he's running around charging me in the big old mobs. The guy in the centre there who was stunned is now rolled onto his back as far as I can, thanks to his tail. And the combats aren't going as grateful as I hoped. I already have one Saurus who's been stunned. But other than that, they're just running towards my lines, and I'll have a round of charging and hopefully just take 1 or 2 out. So this is how we're looking. I've managed to charge. I've just picked on fights that I can. Trying to take out his unit champion just to reduce the amount of attacks coming my way. But with my swords with 2 attacks and my champion with 3 attacks, I should be able to do some damage. Unfortunately, my dice were a complete whiff, and I didn't do any damage, so the Skaven decided to have a go at me instead in their turn, and start charging me right along the lines. All my skinks that could stand and shoot, tried to stand and shoot, didn't do any damage. Other than that, I'm in combat pretty much with everything. It's just my swords getting surrounded. What was supposed to be safe in the terrain, unfortunately was not, and my skink skirmishers are also now getting chased down by the rats. And this is how we're looking overall. Not too bad this round. Thankfully my opponent couldn't get through my toughness, thankfully to Saurus toughness 4. Got over on the far side, my Saurus that was stunned was eventually taken out while he was lying on the floor. I've got skinks that have dropped down all over the place. I did actually manage to take out his champion with the Saurus there, but with the amount of attacks coming my way, my guys aren't going to last long, so I need to kill pretty quick. You can see one unconscious Skaven chief champion. On the top there, my skink ran in and charged the one that landed on the ground and managed to take him out. Unfortunately, didn't do any panicking. The other reason I took the Saurus as well was to keep my morale really high. With Cold-Blooded and Leadership 8, there was no chance I was going to run. So I was just going to play the waiting game, as I say, planning on getting these guys to break and just flee the table. My skink, in deep trouble. One of my skinks have already been taken out, and now this guy's going to get ambushed by 2. Unfortunately, my Saurus champion had been taken out, and my Saurus are slowly starting to drop. As you can see, they've actually managed to clear all the Saurus from that top left-hand side there, and the skink that was in the little marsh there, and they're all coming down onto the other side. I'm desperately trying to get a wound through. I think I might have killed 1 or 2 out of, I think it was like 30-odd cloud rats, so it wasn't going as well as I hoped. Damn him in his current... My complete inability to actually kill anything doesn't help. I can stun and knock down pretty well, and his ability to pass courage tests when needs be meant that, yeah, this fight is going on. So I've got one Saurus there who's been surrounded for quite a while and managed to do pretty well. He's surviving. I have managed to knock down another Skaven. If I could just kill one, it'll be great. I'm very rarely actually hitting with my 2 attacks. I'm lucky to get one through. That's where my Saurus champion went. One round of combat, I actually managed to roll his 3 attacks and rolled 3 1s. So that's how well it was going for my Saurus. And Skaven, on the other hand, were managed to get quite a few criticals. And criticals are basically if you roll it as 6 to wound, you then cause 2 wounds with no armor saves. So yeah, that's pretty brutal against my Saurus. That little skink who was outnumbered 4 to 1 actually managed to take out a Skaven and caused 2 of them to panic, but the 3rd didn't. This Saurus, completely surrounded, is being an absolute legend and keeps hacking these guys down. But unfortunately, I'm just not getting the 5 up to kill the damn things. And once they're on the ground, I can't actually strike them until I've got no enemies that are standing in base contact, because obviously I'm too busy fighting them to go around trying to coup de grace the guys on the floor. Yeah, things are not looking good. Most of my guys are probably fighting 4-5 to 1 at the moment. I'm just hanging in there. Luckily, as I say, Cold-Blooded and my route checks. You have to take a route check once you lose 25% of your models. So I'm already on a route check at the beginning of every my turns. I take the route test. If I fail it, the game's over. My guys just flee back into the jungle. Yeah, I was unfortunately enough not. I was passing the test. I just couldn't do the damage to my opponent to get him on 1. Over here, the Skink's still battling against the 2 and actually managing to hold them off. Remembering the poor old Skinks are weapon skill 2 and toughness 2. That's not bad, really. The chaps that were fleeing, one of them actually bloody rallied just to annoy me, and this guy actually fled off the table. So we're all getting some rats down. But unfortunately, with what's left on the board, yeah, my guys were finally mopped up. Down the bottom there, you can see the Skink ended up fighting 3 Skaven, was taken down. The Skink on the left-hand side was completely surrounded by, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Skaven, and was brought down. My Saurus at the top there was also eventually brought down. Oh, it was hard work. As I said, if I had some Skinks with javelins, I've got the models for them, I just haven't got them painted. I think they would have been a tad more useful, just giving me a bit more defence with that 5-up save in combat, unlike my blowpipe chaps who don't get any save at all. A Saurus was a good idea. They were pretty damn resilient. If I could just get the damn wounds to kill anything. I say, once I got them fleeing, they started. But then nothing else did, which was really annoying. But there we go. So the Skaven won the first one. Now that their skirmishes have taken out my pickets, we don't know what's coming. So they decided on the next mission, they're going to try and take out the watchtower overlooking the paths to my little empire. And with any luck, if they take that out, they can move into my empire and attack it. So we'll see you on the next one.